Big topic today, very important topic, an unfortunate topic, but a critical topic. A lot of you guys have asked me about this, and I'm here to help. Today I'm going to show you how to get divorced as safely as possible. If you're in a traditional monogamous marriage with no prenuptial agreement or any of that stuff, how to get out of there in the best, least bad way you possibly can. I know a lot about this. Let's talk about this. I am Caleb Jones. This is Alpha Male 2.0. Freedom-focused lifestyle design for men. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We do 5 videos a week here on how to make both your business life and your woman life more free, because you need both. By the way, we are doing an online drawing giveaway for one of my online courses right now. This is my course on how you can create your own location-independent income. It normally retails for $1,400, and you could get it for free. All you need to do is be a subscriber here at YouTube, like this video, and leave a comment. And every 2 weeks, I will announce the winner at the YouTube community section of this YouTube channel. Okay, how do you get divorced in the least bad way possible? I can't tell you how to get divorced in a great way, because divorces suck. And I went through this myself many years ago now, thank God. And so this is something I know a lot about. I have coached a lot of guys through this process, and it's a terrible process. It's not fun, but the rewards are oh so worth it. You will be, once it's all over with, and it'll be a pain in the ass while you go through it, but once it's over with, you will be so happy you won't believe it. It's awesome. So it is worth the pain, trust me. But first you got to get through there. You have to do this in a way that causes the least amount of chaos and the least amount of financial risk. Very important you do this right, because a lot of guys fuck this up and do it wrong. Don't do this wrong. Now, I'm going to go through this step by step. Cool? Cool. And this is a very big topic. There's only so much I can cover in a quick video like this, but I will do my best to be comprehensive for you guys. All right, number 1, don't fight. What do I mean by that? First, you need to plan on leaving. This is when you're actually still living with your wife, okay? You have to plan this out. You don't just start yelling and screaming and hollering and all that crap. You need to be strategic about this. You need to be smart about this. The one big edge that we men have over women is, generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, we can control our emotions a little better than women can. Generally speaking, yes, there are a lot of exceptions, but generally speaking, you can. So use that to your advantage. Don't go to war against your wife. Be smart. Be strategic. Stop fighting. If she's screaming and yelling at you, just go, I'm stupid. I'm an asshole. Yeah, I'm done. It's all my fault. Just play it beta for a little bit until you get the fuck out of there, because that's the objective. So stop fighting. The more you fight your wife during this process, the worse this is going to be for everybody, including and especially your children if you have them. So don't fight right now. Fighting comes later, not now. Okay? Okay. Number 2, safety deposit box. Cash. One of the first things you need to do when you're getting ready to leave your wife is, and I did this myself, go to a bank. Go to a bank where you do not normally bank. That's very important. So if you bank at a particular bank, go to a completely different bank and open a safety deposit box and start shoveling cash into that safety deposit box. I remember doing this. This was, long time ago now, almost 13, 14 years ago, but I remember going down there once a week and just shoving cash into that safety deposit box. Don't open an account. Just shove cash in there, because you don't want a paper trail. You want a lot of cash. It costs money to hire an attorney, to hire movers, to get an apartment if you need. You're going to need to be able to afford these things, so you need cash. Don't set this up in a checking account or a savings account. Cash. Cash in a safety deposit box. That way she has no access to it, and she'll never know it's there. That's what you need right now. Very important. Next thing. Very next thing you need to do is set up a mailing address, because during the legal process of the divorce, you're going to need a way to receive mail, and you don't want to receive it at your house where she can intercept it, especially if you move out of that house and she controls the mail. A lot of guys don't think this through. So if you live in the United States, you can go to a UPS store, all these little postal annex type places where you can buy a post office box. You can use the post office, your local post office, and get a P.O. box there. It's just temporary. You're not going to use it forever. Just use it for about a year or 2. But you need a separate active mailing address. Cool? Get that set up. In your name only, of course. Get it done. Cool? Very important. While you're still saving cash in your safety deposit box. Every week or so, you should be down at that bank loading that thing up with cash. Really important. You're going to need to fund your move out and fund your divorce. Fucking divorce attorneys are not free. They cost a lot of goddamn money. This is why when you get into a marriage, you need to sign prenuptial agreement paperwork that is actually enforceable in the city in which you live, so you don't have to go through that crap. But you've already made the error of getting monogamous and getting married legally without any of that stuff, so we got to deal with the fallout now. Cool? I mean, I had to do the same thing. So I feel your pain. Or at least I felt your pain. Today I don't feel any pain, but I did back then. Okay, next thing, you gotta locate an apartment. Now, you're gonna say, but wait a minute, an alpha male kicks that wife out. Now, listen to me. If you're in a traditional monogamous marriage and you want to end the marriage and you say, get out of my house, bitch, what is she going to do? She's going to laugh in your face. What are you going to do? You're going to pick her up and physically carry her out? She'll call the cops and you'll go to jail. You're going to call the cops and tell her she's not leaving? She legally lives there. So if you have a very submissive, easy little wife who does whatever you want, why are you getting divorced then? Then fine, do whatever you want. But if you have a normal woman who has been monogamously married to a man for years and years on end, and she's bitchy and dominant and doesn't have sex anymore and hates you and thinks everything's your fault, you're gonna have to plan on getting a small, cheap studio apartment just temporarily to move out so you can be a man again. You don't have to dick with the crazy, ranting ex-wife, because she's probably not going to leave when you ask her to leave. Make that assumption in advance. Again, this is what I did. I just went locally in the area, rent.com or Trulia.com, or translate for whatever country you live in if you live outside the United States, and just find a cheap, temporary studio apartment. You're only going to be there maybe 6 months, maybe a year on the outside at most. So don't worry about it. Somewhere that's reasonably close to the house, especially if you have children. Now, if you don't have kids with this woman, then you can be anywhere you want, anywhere in the city you like. But if you have kids, you probably want it reasonably close. And set it up. Find out how much it costs, find out if they're available, find out how fast you can move in, find out what kind of deposits you need, make a little budget so you know exactly when and how much it'll cost and what is involved in actually getting there. Matter of fact, you can even go down there and fill out the application. So that means at a moment's notice, you could just pack your shit and move, or you could plan on moving out in a certain date, however you want to do that. But the point is you got to find an apartment, something cheap. Now, if you have a very high income, you can find a nice apartment. But if you don't, something cheap, because you're going to be maintaining 2 households for a while. Kind of expensive, again, especially if you have kids. So you want to keep this shit on the cheap. And again, this is temporary. I spent, let's see, the bulk of 2007, so I don't know, 8, 9, 10 months, in a little studio apartment. Actually, it was a 1-bedroom apartment. And I didn't even have a bed. It's fine. And I got laid. I dated women. It was fine. Not a problem. So, next one. You need to line up movers and an attorney. Both. So you need to find movers, unless you're going to move your own shit. I doubt it. If you have a bunch of buddies who can help you who are very, very reliable, fine. If your buddies are iffy, pay them money and hire real movers. That's what I did. Then you know it'll get done correctly. That's what this cash is for, to pay those movers. Find out how much you have to move. Also, by the way, what you should do when you're planning this out is you should go through your whole life. I've talked about this in one of my books, one of my older books, and clean out your life. Get rid of all your old clothes, all your old crap, go through the garage, get rid of all the junk, clean everything out. And if your wife asks you what you're doing, say, I just want to do some spring cleaning, I got too much crap, I want to clean things up around here. Get it to the point where you don't have to move a lot of stuff. See? Method to the madness. You also need to line up an attorney. Find an attorney. If you have no idea where to get started in finding an attorney, the best place to find an attorney, you want a divorce attorney or family attorney. That's what you want for this kind of thing. The best place is if you know someone else who's gotten divorced who liked his result. If you don't, and get his recommendation. If you don't have that, you need to contact your local bar association or the equivalent in your country if you live outside the United States and ask them, I need a divorce attorney. I need someone who specializes in divorce attorney, someone with 10 years plus experience. More is better. And they'll give you 3 names and you can call all 3 of those guys, interview them on the phone, pick your favorite one and go talk to that person and get him rolling. Actually, you want to start to get the legal process rolling now. You don't need to wait to move out. Get it rolling now. And again, that's what this cash is for, to pay the fucking attorney, the blood-sucking divorce attorney, who make a lot of money on people's stupidity because monogamy doesn't work. All right, next one. Number 6, as you're going through this process, you want to quietly separate your finances from her. Most likely, if you're the typical married guy, you have a bunch of checking accounts, savings accounts, investment accounts that have both your names on it. What you're going to have to do is set up your own accounts, either at the same bank or a different bank, that's kind of up to you, with just your name on it. Start operating under those accounts and start utilizing those accounts. We're making a separation here. You have your own mailing address, you have your own stash of cash, you have your own checking accounts. You need to start breaking this stuff away. Slowly, quietly, carefully, no big deal. Don't make a big deal out this. Don't go to your wife like a lot of guys do and say, I'm setting up my own account because you're a bitch. Shut the fuck up. Be a ninja. First rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. First rule about divorcing your traditional monogamous wife is you don't talk about it. Be smart. Control yourself. God damn it. Okay, next one. Move out. Move out. Set a date and move out. You have all this stuff ready to go in place. You've got movers lined up. You've got an apartment lined up. You have a stash of cash. You can operate with your finances. You have a mailing address You're covered now. You're all good to go. The last thing you could add to this maybe is you could get your own cell phone. Maybe that might be valid. It might make sense to do it. Now, usually you don't have to, most guys don't have to do that when they get divorced, but if you have a really bad divorce, a very high drama relationship with your soon-to-be ex-wife and you're screaming and yelling and ranting, or she's violent, then you might want to get your own phone. I'd probably do that. Other than that, no. Well, that's all you need. But move out. Obviously, you want to move out when she's not home. This is what I did. So I waited to make sure on a day I knew she'd be gone for at least 4 hours, scheduled the movers. As soon as she drove out, movers came in and I hauled ass, which means you need to pack the night before. So if you've got a limited window of time to move out, quietly as you can, pack as much as you can the night before without her getting too suspicious. And then when she's gone, move out. And that way you have to fight and scream at your wife who's ranting and screaming and saying, how dare you move out? I'm going to destroy your life and take your kids. I'm going to throw your clothes on the lawn. You don't want to go through that. Again, don't fight. Don't fight an angry, irrational woman at this point. That's not smart. What's smart is happiness and effectiveness and streamlining your life. That's what we're doing here. So move out when she's not home. Get that done. And I'll be honest with you. I didn't cover the emotional aspects of this stuff. That's the hardest part. It's going to be hard. It's hard to get divorced. It's hard to move out. Especially triple that when you got kids. Triple it again when your kids are little. It's not good. It's not fun at all. I went through it. And it was one of the worst days of my life. I didn't like it that day. I didn't like it. My daughter cried. It was shitty. It was terrible. Didn't like it. Had to be done. You'll be a better person for it. You'll be a happier man for it. And in many cases, not all cases, but in many cases, your children will be happier, especially if your marriage is really, really bad. Cool? Okay. Number 8, once you're moved out, get the legal part of the divorce done as fast as you can. I could do a whole video on this and I won't. I mean, maybe I guess I could. If you guys recommend it, I will. Once you're moved out and you're going through the divorce process with your wife in terms of the legalities, that means in the United States, anyway, you've served her papers, you began the process. When you go through that process, your goal is to get that process over with as quickly as you can. Most guys are stupid about this and they drag it out. I did this. I dragged mine out for 2.5 years because I was stupid. Don't do that. Get it over with. If your goal is to go to war against your wife, you are going to spend $50,000, $80,000, $70,000. I've talked to numerous guys who spend that kind of dollars, $100,000 in attorney fees, and you will lose. Divorce is an industry, especially in the United States. It is designed to be expensive for you, the man. It's not going to be expensive for her. Is she the breadwinner? No, you probably are. So it's going to be expensive for you. Number 1. Number 2, most of the laws, particularly if you live in the United States or Canada, but a lot of Western Europe too, are going to favor her. You are fighting a losing battle if you want to go to war against your wife. Don't go to war against your wife. The best revenge, if you're really mad at your ex-wife, is to get divorced and then date super hot young girls and get super successful after the divorce. That's the best revenge. The worst revenge is to go to war against her legally and spend your entire retirement paying goddamn divorce attorneys. Don't do that. Get it done. Even if you have to give up on some things, even if you have to give a little in terms of negotiating the final deal, even if you have to, whip out 25 grand to pay her off to shut her up or whatever it is, you might have to do that to get it done quickly. Fine. Get it done quickly. By the way, your divorce attorneys in many cases are going to stimulate you to not do this. They're going to encourage you to fight because the more you fight, and the more you fight her, and the more the attorneys fight each other, the more money your goddamn attorney makes. So be aware of this. Not all divorce attorneys are like that, but a lot of them are. Your goal is to get it done ASAP, not win the war. You won't win the war. You lost the war when you got traditionally monogamously married to that woman. That's the day you lost the war. So you already fucking lost. You're just trying to get out without too many of your limbs missing. Cool? Cool. This is what you want to do. And it's tough and it sucks, but it's worth it. You're going to go through some pain, emotional pain, some suffering, and it sucks, but I promise you, within a few months after this is over, this happened to me, I can tell you from personal experience, I've had numerous guys on my blogs, on my emails say the same thing. Several months after the pain of the divorce is over, for me it took 3 months, you will feel more happy than you have ever felt in your entire life, especially if you embrace Alpha 2.0 lifestyle models. You won't believe how happy you're going to be once this is over, but you got to climb this mountain first. And I know it sucks. Believe me, man, I've been there. It sucks. But it's so much worth it. You won't believe how happy you'll be. Cool? If you need help with this process, you can join my training, audio training, and mentorship program at joinsmic.com. In the meantime, you can click here to find out which country you should move to escape the collapsing Western world. or you can click here to find out whether or not you should ever have any children. See you soon.